I probably wasn't the only one who thought when I read this chapter, it was like the ending of the series. I was just like, huh? Like, we're only 250 in. So, this chapter is interesting, but before we get into that, part of me starting to think, and this is just, I'm doing a whole 180 from last week, but part of me starting to think that Dabi is not Toya. And I'm going to explain that in a little bit, but I've got a good idea why I don't think it is. So anyway, yeah, this chapter was pretty cool because, you know, we got a new villain in, and I'm really loving just seeing Endeavour in action and seeing how him as the pro hero #1, how he's just doing a lot of cool stuff, you know, because obviously when All Might was #1, it overshadowed him in the sense that the focus was always on All Might. And back then, Endeavour wasn't even that great of a character, so we didn't really like him. There wasn't a lot of focus on him anyway, so, you know, we didn't really get much time with him. But seeing how he's progressed as a character and developed as well, and then seeing him coming into being #1, it's really, really cool. Especially like seeing him in action. So he is a pretty cool hero. Like, he gets the job done. Like, you can't fault him for that. And even in this chapter was really awesome in the way that, like, he just, I don't know what he'd done. Did he like jump out the car window or the car door? I don't know. But when that gets animated, it's gonna be sick. Because, like, the driver kind of like drifts, and I felt like Endeavour just kicked the door open and like jumped out and then used his flames to propel him. But like, even just that action, it just shows you how cool of a hero he is and just how talented he is. Because obviously, I feel like he's even said this before, the way that he doesn't even say that he flies, he just says he stops himself from falling or something like that. So the way that he describes it as well, is like, he's obviously using his fire to propel him, but like, the car's behind him, so he has to be aware of the fact that, like, okay, cool, let me not burn these guys as well. So like, he's always on the ball, and it reminds me of last chapter when he's saying how, like, your body has to move before you even think of what to do. That's the kind of level you need to get to. That's when he was training, you know, Bakugo, Deku, and Todoroki. So this chapter was really, really cool. We find out a bit more about Toya, and I feel like the Dabi fans are just like, reveal it to us kind of thing. And I'm like, that was me last chapter. But unless Horikoshi really is doing this whole red herring kind of thing, or he really is tricking us or tricking me, but from this chapter and the way that they're talking about Toya, it's one of two things. He's actually dead, or he isn't, if that makes sense. Like, so he's dead, or he isn't, but everyone else thinks he's dead, like the whole family. Now, I'm going to say now, no, I don't think Endeavour killed him, because it just doesn't make sense. The way that Horikoshi is developing his character and all of that kind of stuff, no. Endeavour didn't kill Toya. Did he kill him indirectly due to what, his adverse training or that? Maybe so, but it doesn't add up, because even the way that the family's talking about it, the way that what's her name? Fuyumi is talking about it and saying how, oh, like, we got past it, and like, yeah, you know, we just let bygones be bygones. Like, if really and truly, like, your dad killed your brother, you're not gonna think like that. So just their choice of language, it wasn't adding up. Now, obviously, we know that Natsu and Toya are close, so maybe in that sense that Natsu blames Endeavour for what happened to Toya. But yeah, I'm ruling it out there. I don't think Endeavour killed him, because imagine if he did that just does like a whole 180 on his character development or like his redemption, which would be, it just wouldn't make sense. But yeah, part of me is beginning to lean towards the side that maybe Toya's actually not Dabi, and maybe Dabi is still someone connected. Maybe Dabi's like Toya's friend or something, or Dabi's involved with what happened to Toya. But I don't know. I remember, because I even said a couple of videos again, like, if Dabi, because this is one of the theories in Boku no Hero, and there's quite a lot of theories in Boku no Hero, but like, this is one of the theories where, like, it hasn't been confirmed, but it's correct, if that makes sense. Like, it's just so many hints, or like so many stuff like that, where you're thinking, okay, then maybe so. But like, at the end of the day, like, if he isn't it, who else would Dabi be? And that's why I'm kind of thinking maybe it's not Dabi. Maybe like Toya actually did die, and Dabi is, I don't know, sometimes there's been some like Dabi took his identity, or, you know, knew Toya before Toya died. I'm not sure. Or imagine, what if Dabi is Natsu? That'd be crazy. Now, it doesn't make sense in regards to one we haven't seen. Is Nats? I feel like Natso is ice. I even may be wrong, but I feel like Natso uses ice, not fire. I don't know, but like stuff like that. So I'm just pulling things out of thin air, but it could be. So was I the only person that when I read this chapter, I was thinking this is really weird in the sense like it was just random. You know, how they just introduced this character, which makes me believe that maybe Ending, which is a weird villain name, this guy is obviously one, he's obsessed with Endeavour, but also maybe he did kill Toya, or he was, or Endeavour didn't save him. Something happened 7 years ago. And also, props to Endeavour, by the way. 7 years ago, you'd not only remember this guy, but his quirk as well, and even technically his name. That's kind of crazy, and we know Endeavour solved most of the cases. Endeavour, in the professional sense, or like him as a hero, and how like many cases is solved and how he has like a plan for everything. He reminds me of Batman. Yeah, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, Endeavour kind of does remind me of Batman. But yeah, with Ending, maybe Ending did do something. Maybe I feel like Ending did kill Toya, or is involved with what happened 7 years ago. And it seems like this is the thing which kind of got me confused, because Ending's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill this guy or whatever, and I'm like, one, this is Endeavour's son, so low-key he's probably been trained anyway, so he may even maybe even fight back. Two, is Endeavour, and we know that Endeavour's very versatile with his flame, so if he doesn't like shoot out flames like that, he can do like the concentrated kind of ones like that. Lol, that's Basby. Burn the finger. No, but like, you know what I mean? Endeavour's even done that when he fought something end? High end. When Endeavour fought High End, he was doing like laser pointers with the fire kind of thing, which was really cool. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting either way. I feel like Ending is involved with what happened to Toya. Part of me feels like Toya and Dabi not the same person anymore. But like the majority, I still do think that Dabi is Toya. But we'll see how this plays out, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What else? Yeah, no, this chapter was awesome because, like, just the fact that, like, Deku was even saying, like, because Deku's actually Todoroki's friend. Bakugo is, but Bakugo's just one of those guys, you know Bakugo kind of thing. So it's just, like, sweet to see those character interactions, and even, like, when Endeavour was saying thank you to Fuyumi, I was like, oh, like, Fuyumi is really trying, and you can see it. So, yeah, guys, that's enough for me, to be honest. It was a short chapter. What do you think about it? Do you think there's any merit? Like, do you think Toya is 100% Dabi? Because the way that this chapter, I don't know, it just made me think other things. Because, like, yeah, what do you think about that? Ending, do you think Ending was involved? I'm feeling like we'll probably get a flashback next chapter, or in a couple of chapters, or whatever's going to happen. I don't think Natsu's going to die. But I think what's going to happen in Endeavour saving that, so I think that's going to be very pivotal and important to the restoration of that relationship. I think so. Or just be helping Endeavour in redeeming him. I know, but like even just seeing Endeavour, his character, this chapter was really cool. That driver's funny, which is really weird in my opinion. I just thought like it was such a stark contrast reading this chapter. You had the car driver that was just making jokes all the time, or like insulting the kids. And then you had Ending being like, I'm gonna kill your son. And the car driver's just like, put your head back in the window. I'm just like, okay. But no, it was kind of funny as well. So that's enough for me to enforce comments below. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, click the bell icon to be notified. And I'll see you next week for that Greatness 251. Peace out. Goodbye.